Salams and welcome. Please share this with others. Very important topic today, how to save a life, drowning victims. And with the school holidays and with the end of the year, June holidays, December holidays, and especially December holidays, sadly, we find so many victims of drowning. And it happens because university students are now on break. They've written their final exams. Matric students have written their final exams. Students, primary school kids, even nursery school kids, parents are taking them for holiday. And what's the first thing we do on holiday? We go to the beach. And what's the other thing? We go to the swimming pool, we go to the rivers, we go to waterfalls, we go to have a braai somewhere. And inevitably, we always hear these tragic stories of children who are drowning or your friends who are drowning. And then what happens with the drowning? What happens with the drowning? Your best friend or your mother or your father or the grandfather jumps into the water, even though they don't know how to swim. But they say, that is my child. That is my grandchild. That is my best friend. I will do whatever. And then they will jump in and that person drowns. Another person jumps in, that person drowns. So please save a life. Let's see, first and foremost, teach your loved ones how to swim. Teach your children, the best age from 0 to 4 to 5 years. That's the best age to start. But whatever age you are, learn the basics of swimming. Remember, if you don't know how to swim from lap to lap in the swimming pool, then all of a sudden we go end of the year to the beach. You're fighting an ocean. That current will drag you in before you know it. There are riptides. Even if you're a strong swimmer, I was a strong swimmer. I used to swim Olympic-sized pool. From lap to lap, I could swim. But I went to the ocean. The riptide took me in. I nearly drowned. Riptide took me in. So please be very careful when you come to the ocean. Right, so what happens when you find someone who's... Remember, a toddler can drown in a bucket of water. A baby can drown, a toddler can drown in a bucket of water or even a toilet bowl. You only need this much water. And a person who falls unconscious, by inhaling that, if they fall flat, face flat, they can drown. They can just inhale those liquids and they can drown. So what happens? You find that person who's drowned, floating in the water. You grab that person out, or someone is calling for help. First thing, put the person on the back. Right. Check it, because now airways, once again, CPR, check quickly the airways. The CPR, we did that just now. And that's A, B, C, D. Airways, check the airways, check the breathing, check the circulation. So we did that just now. Airways, breathing, check the airways. Find out, is there any grass in the mouth? Are there any twigs in the mouth? Is there any foreign body in the mouth? Try and look, if that is clean. Check, if the person is not breathing, start the chest compressions. Put your hands like this, put it on the middle of the chest here, and you start your compression. Keep your elbows must be straight. And you're pushing forward. Now the main thing about the drowning victim is, if the water is cold, you got a better chance for survival, because cold water slows down the brain activity, and it slows down the metabolic processes in the body. So you don't give up hope in a person who's just been dragged out of water. Studies have shown that people who are unconscious from drowning for about 5 minutes, and if you do CPR, you blow in the mouth and you do the chest compressions. Mainly is quality chest compressions, 100 compressions a minute, 100 per minute. Quality, keep your arms straight, push from your shoulders, quality compressions, and your cycle of 30 compressions, two breaths, 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. If you do that, then if that person has been in the water for 5 minutes, you have a 90% chance that the person will recover. 90% of the cases will survive. If the person has been in the water between 5 to 10 minutes, then look for trouble. Then with CPR, you'll only have a 50-50 chance. 50% of them will survive. 50% won't survive. So if a child is in the water 5 to 10 minutes, you only got a 50-50 chance. Less than 5 minutes, you got a 90% chance. 5 to 10, you got a 50-50 chance. 10 to 15, you got much less chance. 10 to 4, you got 80% chance that they will die. So you only got a 20% chance left. So 10 to 15 minutes, you got an 80% chance of failure. And if it's more than 15 minutes in the water, then unfortunately, in that case, most of the cases, they don't survive. So please, with regard to drowning, don't give up hope. And studies have shown that those people who have fallen in frozen water, even 45 minutes later, they can be revived again. But please remember, in drowning, when you take the person out, keep the person on the side like this, because there's always going to be vomiting. And if there's vomiting, you don't want them to breathe in that vomit. If they breathe in that vomit, it will go into the lungs. It's known as aspiration. It will give you severe pneumonia and other types of problems. So when you resuscitate the person, put the person on the side. If it's a pregnant woman, put a pillow on the side, because the uterus, it pushes on the inferior vena cava. It affects the return of the blood. So you put the woman on the left side, so the womb is pressed out of the way. And you resuscitate the patient and make sure the person doesn't aspirate the vomiting. So in this way, please let us ensure that the holidays will be safe, and do whatever you can to help victims of drowning. And remember that the main impact on drowning is on the brain. And even those victims, even if you resuscitate the victim, please send them to the hospital, send them to casualty. They must check the BP, they'll check the oxygen percentage saturation. This oxygen saturation must be between 92 to 95%. Then you know you are safe. But in the majority of cases, there will be some sort of brain damage. So you must expect brain damage. Okay, depending on how long they were in the water. So even if you revive them, there will be some brain damage. Maybe the person, because there will be cerebral trauma. When you take oxygen away from the brain, no matter even if it's a short while, there will be some damage. Maybe you'll have memory problems in future. Maybe you used to love maths, but now you're struggling with it. Maybe the personality of that patient has now changed, is no longer the same person. The character has changed. The person maybe a bit more angry, or a bit more irritable, or maybe just very withdrawn. So there will be some changes. But please, whatever you can do, try and save a life. Please send your children and loved ones for swimming lessons. And if you are in a place where there's holiday time, look after yourself. Don't allow that holiday to turn into a tragedy. Please share this knowledge with others. Please share it with others. And let's see how we can make the world a better place. And remember, whether it's CPR of a person who's drowning or anyone else, you have the golden 2 minutes. You got only 2 minutes when the brain is still, 2 minutes, the oxygen is still in the brain. But after that, you start getting anoxia, the brain damage, the brain cells are starting to die. So don't forget the golden 2 minutes. Don't delay. Stay well. Look after yourself.